In the house, Marcy Croft, founder, and also Jessica Rice, who's a founding board member of MSCTA, which is the
Mississippi Cannabis Trade Association.
Jessica, how are you?
Good. How are you doing this morning?
Lots of things have happened. Good. Lots of things have happened since the last time you guys were on. First of all, the Supreme Court. And I think when you said to me that if they shot this thing down, you're going to head over to the state Supreme Court or to the court and file a lawsuit against voter ID.
Well, it's an interesting way that our Supreme Court attacked the initiative process. And I think there are a lot of legal scholars, including the constitutional law professor at Ole Miss, who have tweeted and written about this. And as I understand it, there are some lawsuits being prepared along those lines. And so I look forward to reading them and seeing the federal court decisions on them. And we will...
An appeal process to the U.S. Supreme Court?
Well, you would file a challenge for your federal constitutional rights in federal court here. So as I understand it, there are people right now working with organizations to file those challenges based on the Supreme Court language.
From the university level?
No, I saw the constitutional law professor at Ole Miss who wrote an interesting opinion. It's actually in a series of tweets about the Supreme Court's decision on Initiative 65.
What was that based on, as far as he's concerned?
It was interesting. It's based on the... Thank you for that, but it is a he. It's based on the separation of powers.
I've learned over the years, haven't I?
I'm very proud of you. Or they, but we'll get to that at some point, right?
Go ahead.
So it actually is based on separation of powers. It has to do with the fact that our Supreme Court, while they can attack the process by which that amendment was made, it actually is technically still ratified in an amendment in our Constitution. And so it's an interesting constitutional argument for us lawyers. It goes all the way back to Marbury versus Madison, the first case we learned about in law school. So all of that will play out eventually, especially if our legislature doesn't pass something that works as a workable program in Mississippi. But we have faith that will happen.
Jessica, you guys were listening to some of the cuts apparently you disagreed with some of those, and Dr. Perry, but you want to take any on some of the things that she was saying?
Yeah, so I thought she had a very interesting perspective, being in a state where they have had medical and adult use.
When did they begin this, do you know?
I want to say maybe 10, 15-ish years ago.
Colorado has been,
it's been
legal for a while.
They started off as medical marijuana too?
I believe so, and then moved to adult use as well. So, I thought some of her opinions were interesting. I thought some of her comments that you had just played about, the tweaking of the plant and, the additional THC, I think that yes, it can have additional THC as maybe it did 20 years ago, but, technology progresses and we can ensure we have quality medical cannabis with, being able to do that breeding and all of those things.
I think I need this disclaimer on you guys' behalf. As the trade association, your mission is to make sure that when we do have it, it's the best it possibly could be.
Correct. It's the best it can possibly be for businesses and trade in this state, period.
I got you. So I just wanted to throw that out. It's not that you're fighting one way or the other as far as just that you represent the people who are going to be involved in this. Has that grown since this time, or have you had some people drop off because of the Supreme Court ruling?
It's grown. I think there are a lot of angry people out there, even people that didn't vote for this initially, who are very bothered at the idea that one of our branches of government would override the voice of the people so easily. And so there's a lot of frustration out there. There are a lot of people that want to see our legislature step up, and I think they're doing that. I know I've seen comments from the governor, the lieutenant governor, the Speaker of the House, the Attorney General, the Secretary of State, everyone, issuing comments in support of the vote of the people. So
recognizing
have
that's
either
important.
of you been watching some of the hearings?
Yes, we've attended them. Yes.
You've attended?
Yes.
Did you go yesterday?
Yes.
What was some of the parts in there that you may agree or disagree with? Or in back to what I just said, I mean, you guys are trying to make this the best as possible. Did you get some ideas or maybe some input on how we can avoid the mistakes they've made in Colorado?
Well, it's funny you put it that way. Really, where I am getting a lot of information is about those mistakes that are being made in Alabama and in Arkansas with those programs so limited. And in Alabama, it's effectively a non-program. It's a poison pill, right?
Right.
Those are where we're hearing the most criticism.
This is the medical marijuana program that they initiated at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
Why? Because it doesn't suit the marketplace, or doesn't.
And it also doesn't suit the patient.
Why is that?
If it's going to be a medical program, we need to allow space for people to make those medical decisions with their medical professional, their doctors, their caretakers, not.
But it does that. I mean, the doctors write the doctors give the card out or write the permission for the card.
The recommendation, but it's a very limited list. And then
it's a very limited list of
conditions.
People who can write that, or conditions?
Of conditions. It's a very limited list.
Do they mirror what we had in 65?
No, it's even smaller.
What does it leave out?
Practically everything. It
does leave out smoking, doesn't it?
Well, that's not a condition. It leaves out several intake methods, right? Smoking, vaping would be one of them. I think it says you can only have non-sugar-coated gelatin cubes of one flavor. Yeah. It's this North Korean level regulation. It's so funny because I've heard you've been shilling the Alabama method over here, and I did not know that you had turned into like a raging big government, big regulation liberal, Paul.
Apparently I have.
I mean, I had no idea,
to us,
right? I was surprised. I thought you were a free market kind of guy.
Salty Unicorn on Twitter. Do you know who that is?
I don't. I'm terrified now. Let's see.
But I get these things, and I love them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's unlike some people who are put aside on these things. I'm not. I love them. Just another do nothing Thad Cochran, big government fossil local radio hack who thinks the left just doesn't have enough common sense. Paul is a government radio host, period. That was kind of weird that you guys mentioned that.
I don't think you're a government radio host at all.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But I do think it's odd that, this dichotomy that exists.
You know what I think is odd? You guys, along with a list of people who wanted to bring this in for compassion reasons to the people who could not find any other method, are trying to explode this into an industry to make money, which you do. And you're going to make money on.
I want to be really clear. I didn't vote for this simply for the compassion part, right?
I know.
Here's the crazy part, and it's okay. You can actually vote for something because it will, one, be good for this state and the state's economy. Will bring thousands of jobs. Will bring hundreds of millions of dollars to our economy, and help people that are sick, and help people that have anxiety, stress, fatigue, everything else. It's actually a good thing.
Listen, and I could say the same thing about me. Bringing thousands of jobs here might be to a place that doesn't have the harm that a program that's too lax might do to the state. It's done that to California. It's done that to the state of Washington. And it's certainly done that over the period of years to Colorado. If you listen to this lady, she's talking about they're still doing legislation every year trying to correct some of the things that went bad that were not intended.
That's
but we
right.
do that on so many topics,
right. Isn't it great now that 37 other states have already done this?
Has no meaning whatsoever.
Time, let me finish. For the first time ever, Mississippi can look at a brand new industry, can cherry pick from all these different statutes out there and make the best program in the country. We would lead the Southeast.
We would have certainly led the Southeast if that Initiative 65 was not struck down.
Without question.
And we still have the chance
because it was nothing but unbridled recreational marijuana. And you guys were salivating over it, and I understand you're not happy about it.
I like jobs and money and people being healthy and happy.
I love the state of Mississippi. What a terrible thing.
And all the Baumgars of the world just think everybody else is so mean because we're thinking, if you really want to be compassionate about it, you really want to help those people who can't find any other method, let's do it and treat it like medicines.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we should.
Well, then you must disagree with the way all those packages are being promoted to young kids out there.
The packages
Yes.
promoted.
Yes.
Where do you come up with these
Well,
things?
right from the Skittles box.
I mean, is
Well,